Okay. First of all, I wanted to welcome Shlomo Sicker back to the Beis Medrash. We're making tremendous chazukim. The minyan this morning was gorgeous. There was 25 strong. It was a beautiful minyan. I counted. It was not that maybe we shouldn't count. There was a beautiful minyan, and the minyan's coming strong. But I asked guys to join again tomorrow morning. Me and Maish are on the case, and would love the Chevra to join us. But I want to always say that one of the Asar Rishonim was Shlomo Sicker. All the way at the beginning of the year, one of the people who started, and as people join, you have a schus. It says that Asar Rishonim anoitel schar keneged kulam. So again, I want to ask the Chevra to join us, to join Maish, to join Avi, to join myself. We want the Chevra to be part. But I want to say that Shlomo was one of the Asar Rishonim at the start of the year already, so that's appreciated. And I'm inviting and encouraging everybody to come join. Really daven beautifully for the Amud. Please come and join us. I want to welcome Effie back home, back to Effie Ladder. Welcome back to Yeshivat home. Lekavod Effie, right? Let's get Lekavod Effie and Shlomo. He brought a friend of ours, Shlomo, from Brooklyn as well. You drove all the way up from Brooklyn. I figured right away they deserve to hear Shlomo. You don't have to pay with hearing some divrei Torah from me. Let's hear Shlomo right away. That will be mechazik. We'll learn the Torah even more geschmack. So let's hear Shlomo. The English Zusha song, the newest English.
Almost the newest. Aryeh, come. I don't really know how it goes.
Aryeh, come. Aryeh, come.
Aryeh.
Stam Aryeh. Where's my Sharaich? Moshe, they need you to sing a little.
You guys know, just sing along. I can't do this without you. We're in this together. Don't leave me on my own. In a moment, surrounded by the darkness, I know I can fall on you. Out of this with fire on my lips and hope that the words sing true. In a moment, surrounded by the darkness, I know I can fall on you. Out of this with fire on my lips and hope that the words sing true. Ribono shel olam, imanika lakoka, ineni mochan umezuman, ineni mochan umezuman. Ribono shel olam, imanika lakoka, ineni, ineni, ineni.
Shlomo Deutsch, Shlomo. A Yid came all the way from Eretz Yisrael. Maybe play him one of your songs. Come. Shlomo, you're going to do another one. You'll do another one. Yeah. That was gorgeous.
It's good.
Elio, you know that new one?
these shadows chasing after me. And I'm proud of who I came to be. All these expectations that are on my mind, do I really know who I am? And all these assumptions you are meant to be, is it hard to understand? I wanna be a Peter Pan, no shadow. It's not a reflection of who he is. And I'm stuck in this dark, living a life I can never live. So get away, shadow, get away from me. 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 So in darkness is where I like to hide, 'cause my shadows can't follow me inside. I remember what you said about me, and I knew they were dead on. Oh, it's time for me to light up my soul and get out of this dark. I wanna be like Peter Pan, no shadow. It's not a reflection of who he is. And I'm stuck in this dark, living a life I can never live. So get away, shadow, get away from me. 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 So I don't want me to be part of your life, I don't want you to be part of mine. I'm just trying to sit here and live free. Is that too much to ask? I'm just asking, please. Shadows, 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 shadows.
Before we begin, one more really tremendous chesed Hashem we experienced in our Beis Medrash, in our Chabura. I'm very, very thankful that Avi Friedman is here today with us. We saw a tremendous, all of us that are zeich to be close to Avi, the literal protection of Hashem, the scary of what could have been, and the protection of, really, we saw openly tremendous Yad Hashem in the whole story of Avi and his refuah, and Baruch Hashem. He's standing up and he's back in yeshiva, back at Musarvad. Besides the tremendous chesed Hashem, we saw a lot of chesed. The kindness, and I thank Nachum. Nachum in the corner arranged many guys coming. And Avi said to me about the friends coming, he said to me a line, they saved my life. He was sitting in the hospital and going through a lot, and the friends constantly coming to visit, really the whole chevra coming with the guys, constantly coming to visit. You saw really friendship and the power of friendship. We learned together Musar, where Rabbi Kiva's Talmud said, and Rabbi Kiva came to visit him and clean up the room, he said, Rebbe Hichiyasani, you gave me life. And I don't think the Gemara was exaggerating. And Rebbe cleaning the room, okay, so if the room would have been a little messy, but of course, refuah is tali on a person's attitude. It's pashut like that the physical health of a person is very tali on emotions. What's that guy's name from Boston? Didn't make it up. Sarno didn't make it up. It's way before Sarno ever was born. It's already in our Torah, in the Gemara Nedarim, that Rabbi Kiva's Talmud said that Rabbi Kiva coming to clean up his room brought him to life. So the emotional care and people caring for him, he said, saved his life. So I am just very, very thankful. Welcome home, Avi. Really, really good to have you back. Maybe to cover Avi's return, maybe we should do the niggin, that waltz, the niggin waltz that you taught us. If Shlomo, Aryeh, Reli, and David all sing with you, that would be incredible. Thank you, Aryeh. Thank you, Relis. Thank you, Doves. I want to learn with the Chevra for a few minutes. I want to read inside a beautiful Mesilas Yesharim. In the early days, when Effie was in Yeshiva, for many, many years, we were zeicher to learn Mesilas Yesharim. I would in Musar, what we would do every single day is we learned the first, the second, the third, fourth, and we went through B'siyata D'Shmaya, the Sefer Mesilas Yesharim. There's many pieces that I'd like the Olam to see at this year and this Kufa. That's not what the minig is to go through the Sefer, but there's certain pieces that I like the Chevra to see, and there's a specific piece that's on my mind now. It's on my mind coming off of the off week, where we went home. Many of us found us in different places than we would normally were. So whether somebody was with his family more, or somebody with their family was vacationing somewhere and in different places, in different situations than they typically are. And there are many sugyas to learn when you're in different places. There's many sugyas to learn about being with your family. And there are many sugyas to learn about a family being on vacation. They're all different things to cheshbon out and to think out. I want to learn a Mesilas Yesharim that's very, very precious. The name of this parak, if a parak has a name, is called Mishkal HaChasidus. It's about really measuring out. He describes very well in the beginning, the Mesilas Yesharim says, Harbe Dvarim Tovim. There are many good things that a person could stay away from as if it's bad. There are good things that people could consider this is bad. So they're good zachen, and the Mesilas Yesharim was very from. And he says they're dvarim tovim that the Yetzer Hara could keep people away, that this is bad for you. Recently, a guy told me something he said it's very bad to do. I held it was like a mitzvah rabbah for the guy. And the Mesilas Yesharim says that the harbe dvarim tovim, they're good to zachen, that the Yetzer Hara can convince somebody it's bad, and many sins that a person could think are mitzvahs gedolos. He says there are many chataim that a person could think, come close to and think it's mitzvahs gedolos. See, he says a person needs to make a mishkal, needs to think, he calls it the mishkal HaChasidus, a measurement of Chasidus, to really think through something, with care, with thought, to decide whether something's the right thing to do or not the right thing. He brings different aspects of this. I want to read towards the end. He says certainly a person has to keep all mitzvahs with all their diktukim, and not to be afraid of people. He brings from David HaMelech Kapitel Tilim, V'adabra beidaisecha, I speak about your mitzvahs, neged melachim, in front of kings. David HaMelech was the Melech of Yisrael. You have to be real, Chevra. He used to have meetings with other dignitaries and visiting countries, and he would go, kings go, he was running Klal Yisrael, real. And he'd go to foreign countries and daven mincha. He'd go to foreign countries and the Secretary of State would stick out her hand and he would say, I'm sorry, we can't shake hands. He would keep the Torah, v'loy evash, in front of kings in very embarrassing situations, and he didn't have embarrassment. He would do what's right. And part of serving Hashem is the courage to do what's right. We've all been in situations. My father holds that you have to give up your life not to shake a lady's hands. There are other paiskim who have other shittas in cases of business. There are different shittas. My father holds you have to give up your life. You're not allowed to shake hands. So a lady puts out her hand in front of a public setting. It can be very embarrassing and very complicated, and you're worried, by the way, what's going to cause from not shaking hands. And yet, David HaMelech was strong. Adabra beidaisecha, I spoke about your law. I proudly was an ambassador of the law of Hashem in front of kings, and I didn't get embarrassed. And this is a very powerful thing in Avodas Hashem, to stand up for what's true, to do what's right, and to say, people might murmur and say things, but I'm going to stand up for what's true and what's right. However, says the Mesilas Yesharim, Amnam gam bezet tzarich chiluk v'avchana. A person has to be intelligent with this. Ki kol ze nemar, this strength of I'm not budging, this is right, and I'm not going to care what people laugh at me and mock and say. He says that's true on mitzvahs that you're chayiv to do them, a chayiv gemura. You're absolutely obligated to do. So somebody's going to laugh, it doesn't matter. Again, you're putting on tefillin in the airport. I have to daven. Zman tefillah is coming. You try to go to the most private spot, and people might whisper and say, and it's awkward, and you daven. And I'm getting up, and I'm going to pray to Hashem, and not to be in anybody's face, not to block an aisle. On a plane, I don't think somebody should daven with the minyan. I don't think so. I don't think it's right, because it can't be you're blocking aisles. Nobody could pay for your holach drachim. On a plane, you daven by your seat, but you daven beautifully. Some of the best tefillas of my life are on a plane. Somehow you can concentrate, you have time. The plain tefillas could be wonderful. Sit by your seat and daven a beautiful davening. You're wearing tefillin, you're wearing your talis. It could be like straight. You daven, you sit, even Shemana Esrei sitting down. Don't stand in the aisle. You're a halach drachim. That's a Mishnah. You sit down and you daven by your seat, sitting down nicely, and daven the nicest davening of your life. You have time, you're not going anywhere, and daven a beautiful davening, and don't be embarrassed. On this, lo yevash, don't be embarrassed, you're doing what's right. However, he says on things that are rechiv, shebehem yasim panav kechalamish, make your face like a rock. He says, don't worry. This one's going to say, that one's going to laugh, the next person's going to think. Do what's true. Do what you know. Stand up for principles. However, yesh ezet taisvis chasedus. Some things are chumras. Shem yasai samadum le'amayin ha'am. If you do your stringency, it's not an obligation. It's an extra. And if you do it in front of the masses, yisachku alav yislaitzu, they'll laugh at you. V'nimsu chaitim, they're going to turn out to be sinners. V'nenashim al yadin, they're going to get punished because of you. And you could have not done it, because they're not a chiyuv. Einam chayva muchletes. You're talking about an extra thing. Davar kazeh, something like that. Vadai, it's better for the chassid not to do it than to do it. If you're doing something that's not a chiyuv, and it's extra, and it's a very nice thing when you're in private. When you're in public, it will make people, it's difficult for people, better not to do it. He brings from the Navi, Hatznei lechsem Hashem lekecha, go in private with God. Many Hasidim didn't keep their Hasidus when they were amongst the masses, because it looks like gaiva. The rule is, whatever is a command, you do it in front of any laugher. It doesn't matter who mocks. But what's not an ikar, and it's going to cause laughter, don't do it. You have to think it out. It might be a very nice chumrah, but let's say it's going to be hard on your family. Don't do it. Very nice, you have a custom and a chumrah and a zach. If it's going to be hard on the family, you don't do it. There are famous stories of many tzaddikim. According to the letter of law, Netilas Yadayim, you only have to wash your fingers. We have a beautiful chumrah, we wash our whole hands. That's why on Tisha B'Av and Yom Kippur, when there's an Isser to wash, so we only wash our fingers till our knuckles, because we do our Chiyuv of Netilas Yadayim, which is only the fingers. The chumrah we don't do, because you're not allowed to do rechitza. There were many big people in cases where they didn't have running water, and there was a helper getting the water that they weren't machmir. They only washed till their fingers. They had a certain understanding. It's a chumrah to go till the hand, and their chumrah shouldn't cause some helper person to have to carry and bring more water. They were very thought out on what they did, and what wasn't just if it's from, do it. Maybe it has a cause. Many fathers have hurt their families on vacations by doing things that were chumras, that you didn't need to do that to your family. And you have to think out. And the Messiah Yesharim describes many chasidim, people who did a lot of chumras, but when it caused people to laugh or be uncomfortable or be a problem for other people, they desisted from doing that chumrah because it wasn't the time and the place. He says, Nimseis Lamad, we learn from this, that if a person's coming to be Chasidus Amiti, true Chasidus, Lischasid Chasidus Amiti. Chasidus is a person who's not just living the law, but is living what the law is trying to produce. Tzarech sheyishkol kol ma'asav. He has to weigh all his actions. What's going to come from them? Many chumras caused for no reason. A person put chumras on his mishpach, on his family. I have seen people do bizarre things. The kids are very hungry, and they're saying like long things Friday night. Before my kids were born, I loved their things I liked saying on Friday night before Kiddush, and I had a lot of hana from saying. But I don't say it now. I have a family. It wouldn't be right. It would take too much. Say it alone. Say it at a private time. I don't know. Say it after. Say it after benching. You have to cheshbon out what's going to happen from it. So many people don't think out their chasidus, whether it's a selfishness, a lack of thought, what's going to come from it. If all his kids are going to learn that every Friday night the kid's starving, but dad's like really from, he's going to resent frumkeit. What did you do? You didn't think out. You have to think in a normal, healthy way. Every one of your actions, what's the toiladais that comes? What's the results from such an action? What would come from it? and a person thinks it through according to the chevra, according to the crowd, according to the noise, the topic, according to the place. Where are you? What's happening? Who's around? Who's going to appreciate it? If not doing it causes more kiddush shem shamayim and a nachas ruach, so then you don't do it. If doing it causes more nachas Hashem, so then you do it. He said you could have an action that looks bad, but it's really good what comes from it. You have another action that looks good, but bad comes from it. Think about what's going to come from the action. A person who's a discerning heart, you have to think through your actions. He says, I can't give all the details. If you want me, the Messiah Hashem says to write out, I can't say all the, they're endless. Hashem gives wisdom to somebody who cares and asks himself and really thoroughly thinks out their actions. He brings the story of Reb Tarfon, who was machmir like Beis Shammai. There's a machlokes Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel, how you're supposed to say Kriya Shema. I had a very funny story in yeshiva, because there's a machlokes Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel. Beis Shammai says that the night Kriya Shema is supposed to be, it says, the Torah says, Uveshach b'cha, and Beis Shammai learns you're supposed to be lying down when you say the night Kriya Shema. And the morning Kriya Shema, Uvkumecha, you're supposed to be standing. That's the Shita of Beis Shammai. The night you're supposed to be seated, and the morning you're supposed to be standing. Beis Hillel doesn't hold that way. Beis Hillel says b'shach b'cha doesn't mean while you're sitting. It means when people are normally sleeping. Uvkumecha doesn't mean while you're standing. It means when people are normally getting up. So Beis Hillel holds you don't have to do Kriya Shema that way. I had a mice in yeshiva. We were about to make Kiddush. It was a Friday night going back to when the yeshiva was on the other side. So we were about to make Kiddush. It was a summer week. So we had made an early Meir, which we used to do in the yeshiva. We had made, and we said Kriya Shema. We weren't Yaitse Kriya Shema. So I was about to make Kiddush. What comes first, Rabbi? Say Kriya Shema or Kiddush? What do you do first? Kriya Shema, 2 mitzvah daraisas. With the whole yeshiva was standing, I was about to make Kiddush, but we hadn't said Kriya Shema. What comes first? Zman Kriya Shema. We could have said it later, but you have 2 mitzvahs. We had Kriya Shema for... It's true. But we had the mitzvah mutal on us. I know what you're saying. Now it's a Zman of Kiddush, but it's also the Zman where it was time for Kriya Shema. So what comes first? So Moshe says that Tadir v'Shed Tadir, Kriya Shema is every single day of the year. Kiddush is 52 days of Shabbos, 52 Shabbosos. So Kriya Shema is more Tadir, so you do Kriya Shema first. So I say to the Chevra, sit down, let's say Kriya Shema. I was wrong to say sit down, because we had no reason. Sitting was a Chumrah Beis Shammai. Now, could somebody sit and say Kriya Shema? There's a machlokes, the Aruch HaShulchan and the Mishabura. The Aruch HaShulchan says, I'm not sitting to be like Beis Shammai. I'm just sitting down because I like sitting. I don't have to stand. I'm a chassidus, I stand by Kiddush. For Kriya Shema, even chassidim sit for Kriya Shema. So the Aruch HaShulchan says you're allowed to sit. The Mishabura says you can't. Because L'maisa looks like you're being machmir like Beis Shammai. So it was debatable. I by mistake said, Chevra, sit down and say Kriya Shema. And the whole yeshiva sat. Afterwards, I shouldn't have said sit and said, I wasn't saying sit to be machmir like Beis Shammai. I meant like you could sit, because I'm an Aruch HaShulchan type, but I said sit and say Kriya Shema. I owed the Chevra to clarify that you could also stand and say Kriya Shema. We're not machmir like Beis Shammai that the night Kriya Shema has to be sitting. But Reb Tarfon, it says, the Mishnah says, was machmir like Beis Shammai. He figured, why not? We paskin like Beis Hillel. But he figured, like what Beis Shammai, Beis Hillel lets you sit. So Mamish had such a maisa. The whole yeshiva is standing. Reb Tarfon said, let's lie down like Beis Shammai. And he put himself in a lot of danger. He was traveling. It caused problems. And they told him, Kedai yisalach batzcha shavart al dur Beis Hillel. You had no right to be machmi, even though it was a chumrah. But he says that this inyan of the machlokes Beis Shammai Beis Hillel was very heavy for Klal Yisrael because it caused many machloksim. V'saif saif they paskin like Beis Hillel la'olam. Kiyum shel Torah shegemar din ze yishar b'chol toikav la'adol me'olamim. It shouldn't be weakened in any which way. Nobody chas v'shalom should have shtei Torahs. So he thought, I'll just be machmir. Like, what's the problem? But came out from that dangerous things. It would have been Yaiser Chasidus not to be machmir. Ki lidas ha-mishnah zois Yaiser Chasidus lahachzik beisila filu kula than being machmir like Beis Shammai. V'zel lanu le'inayim. Says this Mishnah and this story is eyes for us, is a window for us to see that the derech ar be'emes emunah is to do the yashar b'einei Hashem. There's a letter Reb Moshe writes to somebody who yelled at Reb Moshe about a psak. He said, you have like a netiyah to chumras. You want to be stricter and frummer. I'm not afflicted with that, Reb Moshe writes. I just like doing what Hashem wants. Reb Moshe wasn't a machmir. He wasn't looking to be very frum. He was looking to do what's true, what's right, what Hashem wants. He didn't have a bias to try to look frummer, the frummer thing. Just actually, Moshe writes this in a beautiful way. I just want to do Ratzon Hashem. And Mishkal Chasidus that the Messiah Sharm speaks about is to really think about our actions. That there's certain things that are wonderful chumras. Again, if it's a chiyuv, so then the person that is Mishayir, it's a chiyuv. It doesn't matter if people are going to laugh. But if it's something that's a chumra, it's an extra, it's something, it's a beautiful thing he might do. But if what comes out is causing somebody to laugh, or causing somebody resentment, or causing somebody not to be firm, so then he has to think through the tailadais, and the chassid thinks through the results of the actions. So the Messiah Sharm himself says, I can't tell you a system for this, he said, because every case and scenario is different. What he wants is not to assume that something looks like a chumrah and looks from is necessarily right. It's totally where the person is. Who's the person? I'll tell you an interesting story. I had an interesting story, and it was a big lesson to me. And the lesson is just to think through your actions. Even something which feels from or looks from. I was in a shul that the minig in the shul is that everybody sits for laning. And I was a yeshiva guy at the time. There was a period in my life I was machmir to stand for laning. I don't have that chumrah. I was mataneder for reasons, and I don't have the chumrah today. But there was a period in my life that I was machmir to stand for laning. And the whole shul was sitting. But I figured, it's my chumrah. I keep this chumrah. And I was in the back of the shul. I went to I'm not going to sit in the middle of the shul. I'm not going to stand in the middle of everybody sitting. I mamish was in the back of the shul. And on purpose, everybody was sitting, so I went to hear Kriyas HaTorah in the back. I did it even in a way it shouldn't be so recognizable. I wasn't trying to be frummer. No, this is the chumrah. I thought I stand. The Rav was a Talmud Chacham Muflig, huge Talmud Chacham. He gets up during lane, remember everybody's sitting, and he's walking to the back. And in my mind, I'm wondering, clearly it was a quiet shul, either somebody's talking, he's going to get it. He's headed somewhere purposely, you could tell he's walking. And I'm wondering where he's going. It was interesting to me. He had a long walk, and you saw the man was going somewhere. And he walks the whole shul. I remember I was the back left corner. From the front, I was in the back left corner. And he walks the whole shul down the aisle, very a purposeful walk, makes a left at the end and walks. It says, young man, find a seat. He was coming for me. And he said, sit down. You're coming here, chumrah. The minig of the shul is to sit. The minig of the shul is to sit. The entire shul. Today I asked myself, I wasn't thinking the toilet. What comes out of it? The whole shul sitting.
He also stood up during
He stood up to tell me something. With the entire shul, it was a minig hamakom, a stark minig hamakom. The whole shul. This was literally. You see shuls. You see shuls that it's mixed. Beseder. This Rav, the whole shul sitting. One guy standing. He said, "Young man, take a seat." This was the minig hamakom. It was a clear. And this Talmud Chacham Muflig came to the back. But I'm saying it over. Of course, he was right. Of course, he's right. You're doing your chumrah. If it's the din, somebody say now. Somebody could ask, what? I know. If you're in a Svardish shul, I think it's a good question. Did I have to? He clearly held I didn't have to be mataneder. the whole shul sitting. You have a minhag to stand. Is that a neder, like a kavod Torah? I hear. Yesh ladim. It's a good shaila. I'm bringing here Mishkal Chasidus that we have to ask ourselves and notice our environment and our crowd. And so, again, I say this after vacation. When people are in unique places and different places, there are things to keep and there are things to say. I have seen people when you have exactly 10. And the guy's davening a long Shemon Esrei, and the whole tzibur is waiting, like at a Ma'ariv somewhere. And one guy, he has like a 16-minute Shemon Esrei, and the halach is to wait for 10 einim, and a whole tzibur. Now, is that a din or a minhag? If that's his anhaga, it could be kedai. It's probably right that he should say to himself, I'm with 10 people. He has to use his noodle. It's not a chiyuv to daven 16 minutes. This might be a time for a little quicker Shemon Esrei. I think the Melech is going to very much be with him. He says, I'm going a little faster now. I have a tzibur of 10. Now, again, recognizing the Messiah Yesharim describing that he says that it matters who a person's with. He brings here that it matters l'fia eis, l'fia chevra, l'fia noisei, l'fia makam. So I thought after coming from a Bein Hazmanim, when people are in different places, people with their mishpacha, and again, their halacha is equal to what the Messiah Yesharim says. There are some things that are dinim that are completely not bendable, and they don't matter. It's not totally on the different. That's a halacha, and the shaking hands. You could say, I don't know. You'll have kashrus things in Eretz Yisrael, and you buy your great aunt, and you don't want her to feel badly, but it's a din. So you ask her, where's the salad from? And you're like, well, what's wrong with you? You're there, you make yourself like a rock. So you feel badly, but this is the din. But that's when it's the din. All of a sudden, he has a nice chumrah, he has some chumras he keeps, but l'fia makam, l'fia eis, l'fia chevra, l'fia zman, all these conditions that the Messiah Yesharim brings, a person has to ask himself, is he sensitive to the situation? But I'm told me they were noyig the chumrah. My father speaks a lot, Marthu, when you have minhag. Is there such a thing called minhag aviseinu, minhag hamakam? There's such a... But let's say it took on the minhag. So then it's not... Then it's lav dafka, yes. My father holds there, you don't have to, but I'm afraid, I don't want to publicly give psakim. These are good shilas. When it's called your minhag, but at the point it's called your minhag, there's definitely called something minhag hamakam. In that shul that the whole place sat, today I wouldn't think of standing in such a shul. The entire shul sits, you sit down, that's clearly the minhag hamakam. By the way, if the entire shul stands, so don't be the guy sitting. It's minhag hamakam. The whole shul standing. Everybody's standing. One guy sit. The minhag hamakam. The makam. The people are standing. Huh? I have to put Martha in touch with my tata with that. Yeah, it's a big shilas. I know, it's a big shilas. If the tzibur stands, I buy Seres Hadibris.
Like if it's one guy, does it make a difference? Let's say it's 7.
What?
Let's say it's like 7 people, not one guy. 7 people stand. Does that make a difference?
No, I don't think so. I think if the whole tzibur would matter. The nice. I know. I've seen it. You don't know what to do. Like, okay, so then you can't say it's minhag hamakam. It's clearly.
I feel like an easy example, like Eretz Yisrael, families come and take you out to restaurants. Usually people just don't know the kasha for Eretz Yisrael.
You come all these types of shilas. Yeah.
It's not even like we eat here and like you eat where from. Like, they just don't know the halacha. It's like it's kosher.
Yeah. That exact example. So when it's the halacha, so then we're a rak. It's not a negotiable thing. I'm not eating treifas. When it's a chumrah, so then a person has to know what's a chumrah and weigh it out. For sure, that's mishkal hasidus a chassid. Yeah, he says there are things that according to the looks are good, but according to the talada is sarah. You have to ask. There are things people could say, all different piyutim, and the whole family sitting there. So then,
It took me 20 minutes to get this.
so then, so that's a great thing. But then he's with his mishpacha, they're hungry, and he has to cheshbon out to toilada. What's going to happen? That I love that line. That chumras al lefi all lefi esa chevra noisei amakim. It matters the conditions. I wanted to share. I wanted to read this. I wanted to read this Mesilas Yesharim with the chevra in it's Perek Chaf. It's in the Sefer Mesilas Yesharim Perek Chaf. I wanted to read it to the chevra. I thought it's very applicable. You could ask why you're reading it after vacation. You read it before it's a good kasha. Vacation taught me something and teaches us something. This Mesilas Yesharim of weighing and measuring and figuring out what to keep, when to keep it, how to keep it, is something where a person has to be on their mind. It's very nagea planes and different types of hanhagas people have that sometimes would be a wonderful hanhaga and another time would be the wrong thing to think it through. Yashar Koyach Rabbi said, we'll stop here.
Doesn't what?
My dad asked for it. Should I do that? I'll tell you that.
They stand like directly in the middle of the aisle.
I'm going to call David.